Good afternoon. What a joy it is to see our pews so full today. My name is John Clegger, and I'm one of the pastors here. You'll hear from our other pastor, Gail, a little later in the program. But we are just thrilled to be in partnership with Opera Carolina today for this celebration of a life that we shall never forget and a life that will always, always inspire us. This morning we opened worship with some words from the book of Dr. King's that means the most to me. It was his last major work. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community? His words included these: as with the prodigal son, we are like a nation that has wandered far from home and lost its way. With every ounce of our energy, we must continue to rid our nation of the incubus of racial justice. And pursuing justice, Dr. King wrote, is like curving around a mountain when approaching a city. Often it feels as though we are moving backwards, but in fact, we are moving ahead, and soon we will see the city again. It is in that faith and in that spirit and in that hope that Caldwell Church and Opera Carolina welcome you today. You are in for a treat. Maestro?
Thank you, Reverend. I'm James Mina, Artistic Director of Opera Carolina. What an absolute joy to be here today with you to celebrate, commemorate together as a community the 94th birthday of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, before we do anything else, I want you to join me in taking your cell phone and muting, or even better, turning it off, so that we don't have any unplanned sounds occurring during the performance. What better way to celebrate as a community this amazing individual who inspired, who challenged, and who helped us move forward as a society. And perhaps the best thing we can do today and at all times is remember where we were in the 60s when the movement began, where we are today, and where we aspire to be, not just as a community here in Charlotte, but in this great nation, so that we can together make this a better nation. So I thank you for being here on behalf of the opera. Somebody asked me how odd it is for the opera company to do a concert like this. We're usually performing grand operas at the Belk Theater. The answer is we all share this legacy, and we all share a responsibility to keep the torch burning. And so from the opera standpoint, this is logical for us to be here, and I thank you for being here. Now, for those of you who are able, if you'll stand and join me and our wonderful artists as we sing together, lift every voice and sing. Let us march on till victory is won.
come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have gone over a way that the tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, we may met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
Where do we go from here? Delivered at the 11th Annual SCLC Convention, Atlanta, Georgia, August 16th, 1967. And if you will let me be a preacher just a little bit. One day, one night, a juror came to Jesus and he wanted to know what he could do to be saved. Jesus didn't get bogged down on the kind of isolated approach of what you shouldn't do. Jesus didn't say, "Now, Nicodemus, you must stop lying." He didn't say, "Nicodemus, now you must not commit adultery." He didn't say, "Now, Nicodemus, you must stop cheating if you are doing that." He didn't say, "Nicodemus, you must stop drinking liquor if you are doing that excessively." He said something altogether different, because Jesus realized something basic, that if a man will lie, he will steal. And if a man will steal, he will kill. So instead of just getting bogged down on one thing, Jesus looked at him and said, "Nicodemus, you must be born again." In other words, your whole structure must be changed. A nation that will keep people in slavery for 244 years will thingify them and make them things. And therefore they will exploit them and poor people generally economically. And a nation that will exploit economically will have to have foreign investments and everything else, and it will have to use its military might to protect them. All of these problems are tied together. What I'm saying today is that we must go from this convention and say, "America, you must be born again."
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I sing Didn't My Lord Deliver Daniel, I'd just like to explain the piece a little bit. So this piece is arranged by living African-American composer Mr. Courtney Carey, who is based in New York City. And this piece, Didn't My Lord Deliver Daniel, is most appropriate because it really is a song of hope that the same God who delivered Daniel from the lion's den, who delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, is the same God that will deliver us from every ounce of injustice, persecution, whatever it is that tries to entrap us, that God will indeed deliver in his time. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel?
Did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man? My Lord delivered Daniel, then why not every man? Then why not every man? He delivered Daniel from the lion's den, Jonah from the belly of the whale, and the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace. Then why not every man? Did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man? The moon runs down in a purple stream, the sun refused to shine. Every star did disappear, oh Jesus shall be mine. Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man? The wind blows east, the wind blows west, it blows like the judgment day. And every soul that never did pray will be glad to pray that day. Did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man? He delivered Daniel from the lion's den, Jonah from the belly of the whale. Hebrew children from the fiery furnace. Then why not every man?
Good afternoon. My name is Zachary Hugo. The piece that I am going to be singing is by the composer William Grant Still, commonly known as the Dean of African American Music. He was a pioneer of classical music in the United States and was a man of many firsts. He was the first African American to conduct a major orchestra in the United States, the first African American composer to have a work performed by an orchestra in the United States, the first African American composer to have an opera performed by a major opera company, and the first African American composer to have an opera televised in the United States. This piece, the most important words for you to listen for are "Weeping angel, on your pinions trailing, the white dove promise stands." Essentially, behind every moment of grief is the promise of peace.
Weeping angel, with pinions trailing, and head bowed low in your hands, mourning angel, with heartstrings wailing, for one who in death's hall stands. Mourning angel, silence your wailing, and raise your head from your hands. Weeping angel, on your pinions trailing, the white dove promise stands. Weeping angel, with pinions trailing, and head bowed low in your hands, mourning angel, with heartstrings wailing, for one who in death's hall stands. Mourning angel, silence your wailing, and raise your head from your hands. Weeping angel, on your pinions trailing, the white dove promise stands.
Hello, I am Sequina Dubose, and this next selection, Inside is What Remains, is by Dr. Nkiru Okoye. Nkiru Okoye is an African-American composer of Nigerian descent, who among the other accolades was recently named a Guggenheim Fellow. And this piece was originally commissioned by Tulsa Opera for the Tulsa Race Massacre Memorial Concert in Greenwood. The piece, Inside is What Remains, speaks to the sentiment that we have more that is alike than that is different. And kindness is the key to bringing everyone together.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I am Patrice, a local creative here in Charlotte, NC, and I am here with Sanaya, a senior at Myers Park High School, a soon-to-be graduate, okay? Before we get into the reading, we want to keep the energy where it is. It's a good place, and I like to start with a little gratitude, okay? So I typically do this before I begin anything that I do. And so I'm gonna need your help, okay? I'm gonna need a little clap. So, come on. Yeah. Gratitude, gratitude, flowing through my heart. Gratitude, gratitude, where do I start? Gratitude to be in this place. Gratitude to be on the stage. Gratitude, gratitude, flowing through my heart. Gratitude, gratitude, where do I start? Gratitude to be in this place. Gratitude to be on the stage. Gratitude, I woke up this morning. Gratitude, I brushed my teeth, I washed my face. Gratitude, I found time to meditate. Gratitude to see your lovely face. And most importantly, gratitude for MLK. From where do we go from here? And so I conclude by saying today that we have a task, and let us go out with a divine dissatisfaction. Let us be dissatisfied until America will no longer have a high blood pressure of creeds and an anemia of deeds. Let us be dissatisfied until the tragic walls that separate the outer city of wealth and comfort from the inner city of poverty and despair shall be crushed by the battering rams of the forces of justice. Let us be dissatisfied until those who live on the outskirts of hope are brought into the metropolis of daily security. Let us be dissatisfied until slums are cast into junk heaps of history, and every family will live in a decent sanitary home. Let us be dissatisfied until the dark yesterdays of segregated schools will be transformed into bright tomorrows of quality integrated education.
Let us be dissatisfied until the dark yesterday. Let us be dissatisfied until integration is not seen as a problem, but as an opportunity to participate in the beauty of diversity. Let us be dissatisfied until men and women, however black they may be, will be judged on the basis of the content of their character, not on the basis of the color of their skin. Let us be dissatisfied. Let us be dissatisfied until every state capital will be housed by a governor who will do justly, who will love mercy, and who will walk humbly with his God. Let us be dissatisfied until from every city hall, justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Let us be dissatisfied until that day when the lion and the lamb shall lie down together, and every man will sit under his own vine and fig tree, and none shall be afraid. Let us be dissatisfied, and men will recognize that out of one blood, God made all men to dwell upon the face of the earth.
Let us be dissatisfied until that day when nobody will shout white power, when nobody will shout black power, but everybody will talk about God's power and human power.
Good afternoon. My name is Johnny Felder, and I will sing Come Down Angels. This spiritual is written by one of the foremost African-American women composers, Undine Smith Moore. And it simply says, come down angels, trouble the waters. Let God's saints, all of God's saints, come in. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels, trouble the water. Come down, angels. angels, troubled water, let God's saints come in. Oh, come down, angels, troubled water, come down, angels, troubled water, come down, angels, troubled water, let God's saints come in. I love to sing, I love to shout, let God's saints come in. I love to praise my heavenly King, let God's saints come in. Oh, come down, angels, troubled water, come down, angels, troubled water, come down, angels, troubled water, let God's saints come in. I think I hear the sinners say, let God's saints come in. My Savior taught me how to pray, let God's saints come in. Oh, come down, angels, troubled water, come down, angels, troubled water, come down, angels, troubled water, let God's saints come in. Down, 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 troubled water. Let God's saints come in.
How do you follow that? This next selection, actually, I left my notes in my phone. I'm sorry. Thank you. This next selection, Hold Fast to Dreams, features text by Langston Hughes and is set to music by Florence Price, the first African-American woman to be recognized as a symphonic composer and the first to have a composition played by a major orchestra. The text simply says, hold fast to dreams, for when dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Dreams die.
So they're going to make a tenor follow a wonderful soprano. So this next piece, Here's One, is also an African American spiritual, and it is arranged by a wonderful composer, arranger, maestro, you name it, fabulous accompanist, Mr. Damian Sneed, who is a native of Augusta, Georgia, and he also was the mentee of the late, great Miss Jessie Norman, one of the greatest opera singers to ever walk the planet. And with Here's One, it really is a prayer between you and God, letting him know that, Lord, you can choose me, whatever my call is in life, because all of us have a call, whether or not it's to sing, whether or not it is to teach. All of us have a calling, and Dr. King was a true example of that. In my opinion, he is, if not the finest sons, one of the finest sons to ever be birthed in this country, because he literally knew that his assignment was to spread love, whether it cost his life or his family's life. And so this is Here's One.
Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here's one. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here's one. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here's one. Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. Ever since I learned the gospel story, I've been walking up the path to glory. Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. that do love Jesus, talk about a child that do love Jesus is one. Is one.
Wow. That was breathtaking. I am Ramona Holloway, and you say, how do you follow her? How do I follow you? I talk on the radio. I want to, first of all, thank Opera Carolina for giving me the opportunity to be here today. For the radio girl who loves the arts, this is truly an honor. And I also want to thank my pointer sister. Where is she? She's right here in front. This woman pointed with authority like I've never seen before, standing on the sidewalk just going. She didn't have a t-shirt on, had no way of knowing she was affiliated, and we just all did what she told us to do. I have a feeling you've told people what to do before. I'm honored to bring you the third reading from Where Do We Go From Here? And I must confess, my friend, that the road ahead will not always be smooth. There will still be rocky places of frustration and meandering points of bewilderment. There will be inevitable setbacks here and there, and there will be those moments when the buoyancy of hope will be transformed into the fatigue of despair. Our dreams will sometimes be shattered and our ethereal hopes blasted. We may again, with tear-drenched eyes, have to stand before the bier of some courageous civil rights worker whose life will be snuffed out by dastardly acts of bloodthirsty mobs. But difficult and painful as it is, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. And as we continue our chartered course, we may gain consolation from the words so nobly left by that great black bard, who was also a great freedom fighter of yesterday, James Weldon Johnson. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to a place for which our fathers sighed? We've come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our past through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from our gloomy past till now, we stand at last, where the bright gleam of our bright star is cast. Let this affirmation be our ringing cry.
This next piece is by the composer Florence Price, one of the most prominent female African-American composers of the 20th century, and is a setting of the poem Fantasy in Purple by Langston Hughes, a fantastic poet and one of the leaders of the Harlem Renaissance.
Tragedy for me. Beat the drums of tragedy and death, and let the choir sing a stormy song to drown the rattle of my dying breath. Beat the drums of tragedy for me. Violins whirl thin and slow, but one blaring trumpet note of sun to go with me to darkness where I go.
This next selection is by composer, it's arranged by composer Edward Boatner. This is a traditional spiritual that is a lament, and it is in the first person. The speaker is asking Jesus to walk with them through trial and through tribulation.
Pilgrim
when I'm in trouble. Lord, walk with me.
My name is Gail Henderson Belcito. I'm one of the pastors here at Caldwell Presbyterian Church. It is an honor to have you with us this afternoon. As any pastor, I would be remiss in my duties if I did not invite y'all in. As he sang, all God's saints come in. And so I want to invite you following this gathering to just go straight through this door all the way to the back. And we have a reception waiting for you. We want you to feel the welcome of the Caldwell community, so please stay after worship, after this gathering, and join us for a reception. The fourth reading from I've Been to the Mountaintop, delivered in support of the striking sanitation workers at Mason Temple, Memphis, Tennessee, on April 3rd, 1968. His last night. Now let me say, as I move to my conclusion, that we've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point in Memphis. We've got to see it through. And when we have our march, you need to be there. If it means leaving work, if it means leaving school, be there. Be concerned about your brother. You may not be on strike, but either we go up together or we go down together. Let us develop a kind of dangerous unselfishness. Let us rise up tonight with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. And let us move on in these powerful days, these days of challenge, to make America what it ought to be. We have an opportunity to make America a better nation.
The next song I will sing is Soliloquy by John Work. This song, the text was written by Myrtle Verst Shepherd of a different name entitled No Fear. And in this text, death is a welcomed guest. If death is as sweet as life, I'll welcome it.
Death be only half as sweet as life, I will not fear, I'll shed no my friends to weep, but quietly go like melting snow upon the mountain's steep gray height. Or wafted gently on a breeze, I'll drift among the trees like love's laughter echoing down a lane. Or I will follow willingly the soft spring rain around the river's bend. If death be only half as sweet as life, I will not fear to go. I love life so. I love life so.
And our final selection as a company is He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, arranged by Margaret Bonds.
He's got the whole world in his hand. 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 He's got the woods and the waters in his hand. He's got the woods and the waters in his hand. He's got the sun and the moon right in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand.
He's got the birds and the bees right in his hand. He's got the birds and the bees right in his hand.
He's got the beast of the field right in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got you and me right in his hand. He's got you and me right in his hand. He's got